ngiye kubagezaho inzira ndende, inzira y'umusaraba nanyuzemo kugeza ubu ngubu tugeze aha tuje kwibuka ababyeyi, abavandimwe n'inshuti.
I will share with you the long and the long journey full of hardships that I went through with my family and my peers.
Ubuhamya bwanjye rero buri mu byiciro bitatu. Hari icyiciro cya mbere ya Jenoside gatoya aho nari ntangiye kumenya ubwenge, akaba icyiciro cyo muri Jenoside n'ubuzima nabayemo na nyuma ya Jenoside.
My testimony will be in 3 categories. The first one is my life before the genocide as I grew up. The second part will be what I went through during the genocide, and then I will talk about the aftermath of the genocide against the Tutsis.
Mu muryango wacu navugaga n'umwana wa 10, nge wari bucura. Muri abo bana bose twasigaye turi babiri.
I'm the last born of a family of 10 children, and of the children only the 2 of us survived.
Jenoside rero yabaye mfite imyaka 8, numva ko nari naratangiye ishuri. Mbere yaho rero gatoya nababwiraga nkuko twese tuvuga ko Jenoside yari yarateguwe, namenye ubwenge mbona umuryango wacu totezwa.
I was 8 years old when the genocide started, so I was in school already. And as we know, genocide was prepared long before. So I grew up with my family being tortured, being stigmatized all the way.
Aho mbivugira nari mfite musaza wanjye, rimwe baza kumutega baramukubita bamuca n'ugutwi. Icyo gihe abari bamubikoze baje bigamba ko bari kwica Abatutsi, izo nzoka zitakomeza gukura.
For example, I remember one day when my brother was on the street and he met a group of people who beat him up and even cut his ear off, and they went back home singing and rejoicing and praising themselves for being for killing Tutsis.
Byagezaho nuko abana tutakijya mu nzira ngo twijyane twenyine. Nayigeze kugenda ngiye kwa musaza wanjye yari yarubatse, mpura n'umugabo yari afite umuhoro, arangije arambwira ngo turaje tuzabateme. Akibimbwira nasubiye inyuma niruka njya kubaza mu rugo, nise twakoze iki? Nabajije ababyeyi ni twakoze iki ko bambwira ko bazadutema.
Another instance is when I was going to visit my brother who was married, and another group of guys stopped me with a machete and told me they are going to kill us. So I had to run back home and ask my parents, what did we do? Why do these people want to kill us? What wrong did we do?
Ababyeyi ntacyo bansubije, ahubwo wabonaga bafite agahinda kubyo babonaga biri kugenda bitegurwa.
My parents didn't have an answer for me. They only were very sad for what was going on.
Nihuse nakomeza mu cyiciro cya Jenoside. Bakitangaza ko indege y'umubyeyi yaguye mu rugo, musaza wanjye yakoreraga Kigali, yari ari mu rugo. Bigeze mu ijoro kumva yakije moto, aragenda ntiyatubwira aho agiye.
So to go into the genocide time, the night we heard that the plane of the president crashed, my brother, who had a job in Kigali, in the capital city, but was visiting home at that time, decided to take his motorcycle and take off.
Bwarakeye mama arebye aramubura, amubuze ararira, ati umwana wanjye agiye gupfa. Arangije twese yadushyize hamwe aratubwira ati muteke ngo ibyacu byarangiye umunsi wageze.
So in the morning, my mother looked for her son but couldn't find him, and she cried. She said, he's gone, he's going to die. So she gathered all the rest of us and told us to cook and eat and said, this is our last day. All is finished now, we are going to die.
Haciye iminsi mike tukabona twari twegeranye n'umugezi wajyanaga muri Nyabarongo. Tukabona abantu interahamwe ziracyaza imihoro, mu kuzamuka bakatubwira ko iyo mihoro ari izadutema.
So we lived next to a river that flows into Nyabarongo that flows into Victoria. And we used to see people sharpening their machetes near the river and saying that these machetes are being prepared to kill you guys.
Iminsi yaricumye bigera ku itariki 14 haza kuza interahamwe imwe twajyaga duha ibiryo, irabwira mama ngo uyu munsi nimudahunga barabica.
So going forward to the 14th of April, there was one guy whom my family used to feed, and he came home. He told my mother that if you don't flee today, you are going to be exterminated.
Mu rugo twari abana benshi, hari n'abari baje muri vacances gusura mama, bari yarababereye nyirasenge. Twese bugorobye mu masaa 12 n'igice yatujyanye mu ishyamba, abagabo papa n'abandi n'abahungu be bakuru bakarebera hirya, ariko twebwe batujyanye mu ishyamba.
We were a large family. In addition to our own children, we had cousins who were visiting during the school break. So my mother took all of us to the nearest forest, and all the children and females were in one place in the forest, while and boys were observing from afar, trying to protect us.
Nkuko iyo nterahamwe yabivuze, ntabwo bigeze basiba, baraje babura umuntu mu rugo, babuze umuntu batema inka. Mu gutema inka bajya hepfo ku rugo rwa musazange hari harayemo abana bari batoya, harimo n'umwe wararanye nawe mukuru ho gato arufite nk'imyaka 12.
So the killers came and began to hack cows with machetes. At home there was a 14-year-old boy. It was a girl, sorry.
Bamusanzemo niwe bamuteye icyuma, niwe bashije kwica uwo munsi, abandi bana bato barabareka bari basinziriye.
That day they killed that child with a knife. All the other children were sleeping at that time.
Uwo mwana mu muryango wose niwe twabashije gushyingura.
She's the only person in our family that we were able to bury.
Ubwo bwarakeye tugaruka mu rugo, twicaraho wa mwana bamushyingura munsi y'urugo. Nyuma y'iminsi 3 ku itariki 18,
so we were able to bury the child at home, and on the 18th,
mu masaa 3 z'amanywa interahamwe zaraje zifite imihoro, amafuni na za ntampongano.
So on the 18th around 9 a.m. Interahamwe is the militia that was killing Tutsis. They came armed with different weapons like machetes, like big knives and other agricultural tools that were used to kill.
Zarahageze rero twese uko twari mu rugo umuryango wose zarashoreye. Zaravuze ngo ntago zatwiciraho twazabanukira, bureka batunyuze inzira y'usamo dusange bene wacu muri Ethiopia.
So they came and gathered all of us at home and said they are not going to kill us at home because they don't want to have to experience our smell after the killing. So they decided they were going to throw us into the river so that we can join our relatives through Nyabarongo, through the Nile.
ubwo baratujyanye ntabwo hari kure hari ahantu h'urugendo rw'iminota nka 30 ubwo uko batujyanaga niko bagendaga bakubita bakuru bamwe babatemagura hagezeyo abakiri bazima bari mbarwa.
So as they were leading us to the river, which was not too far, it was like half an hour walk, they were torturing and beating and hacking us on the way with machetes and all those weapons, and only a few were able to reach the river.
Twageze kuri Nyabarongo rero bagafata umwana bagatema bakaroha muri Nyabarongo. Hari intera hamwe y'umugore yitwaga Nyirabusizori, niryo zina bamuhimbaga kubera kunywa cyane.
At the river, they would take one child at a time and cut them with machetes and throw them in the river. There was a woman called Nyirabusizori, for she used to drink a lot.
Yari yavuze ko abagore n'abakobwa ari buri bubiyicire mbere abanje kureba uko abatutsikazi bateye.
She was one of the killers, the horrible ones, and she had said that she's going to take care of killing females. She will first have to witness how, like, their physical shape before she kills them.
Yabamburaga imyenda yambaye abagore bose n'abakobwa bari baraho kuko uko bagendaga badushoreye ni nako bagendaga bafata n'abandi baturanyi badutwara turi benshi.
So they had been joined by many other people from the area as they were leading the family to kill us, and she, with these other killers, undressed every female with us.
Yaravuze abwira mama ngo we ntago bakwica ubwanjye ntarakwiyicira ngo mbanze ngukureho uruhu ngo ndebe uko inyama z'abatutsikazi zisa.
She told my mother, no one else is going to kill you. I will take care of killing you myself. And before I do, I'm going to make sure I remove your skin so that I can see what your flesh looks like.
Yamukubise umuhoro mu isura ahereye mu gahanga bakuraho isura mu maso.
Then she kicked my mother with a machete straight from the top of the face to remove like the face.
Abagabo bo batemaguraga baroha muri Nyabarongo ubwo nta n'umusore wari ugisigaye abari bafite imbaraga nke niyo bari basigaye n'abana ubwo niko badukubitaga imihoro baroha muri Nyabarongo.
By then no man no boy was still standing because they were the first ones to be hacked and thrown into the river. Only the very weak were staying behind and not safe because they had been also kicked with machetes and injured.
Ubwo nanjye niko bankizemo ntabwo namenya ngo namazemo iminsi ingana iki.
That's how I got thrown into the river, and I can't tell how long I spent there.
Naje kwisanga Nyabarongo yanjugunye ndi mu bisheke.
I found myself thrown away by the river and laying in the sugarcane plantation.
Namazemo nk'iminsi 3 ariko nari umupfu.
I think I spent like 3 days there, but I was dead.
Muri ibyo bisheke naje guhuriramo na mukuru wanjye.
I came across my older sister in those sugar canes.
Nawe yari yakomeretse bamutemaguye yatangiye kubora ibice batemaguye.
She had been also injured severely with machetes to the extent some of the parts of her body were kind of going like bad. I don't know how to say it, but they were no longer like fresh injuries.
Yarambwiye ati rero reka bumare kwira hanyuma ejo tuzazamuke tujye mu ishyamba.
she told me to wait until it becomes dark so that we can try to go up the hill into the forest.
twazamutse umusozi iminsi 3. Ni ukuvuga ngo twagendaga nijoro ku manywa tukihisha mu bitare.
It took us 3 days to go up the hill because we only could walk slowly, and at night, during the day, we would hide behind rocks on that hill.
Hari umukecuru wari inshuti na mama twagiyeyo turamukomangira ari mu ijoro. Ikibabaje nuko umukecuru yaje gupfa nyuma.
We had my mom's friend at the top of the hill, and we went to her home at night and knocked. Sadly, she died afterwards, and my mom was not able to thank her.
Yaratwakiriye twirirwa uwo munsi, aduha amazi, aduha ibiryo biratunanira, ariko araduhisha.
So when we reached, she gave us water. She tried to feed us, but we were not able to eat. But she protected us. She hid us.
Twamazeyo iminsi 2, interahamwe zimenya ko duhari.
2 days later, the killers learned that we're with her.
Yaradufashe, njyewe arampeka, sinari nkibasha kugenda. Aravuga ngo njye agiye kunsubiza mu bisheke kumpishayo. Hanyuma mukuru wanjye hari umusaza wanjye yari afite inshuti ye y'umusirikare yahoze mu ngabo za Habyarimana, amujyanayo kuko imiryango yari iziranye.
So she decided to put me on her back because I was not able to walk, and take me back to the sugarcane field, but then took my sister to a family whose son was friends of my sister's. Those families were also friends, so she knew that.
Amakuru naje kumenya yamugejejeyo, ise w'uwo muhungu ajya kumuzanira ibitero.
What I learned afterwards is that it's the mother of the boyfriend who brought killers for my sister.
Igitero cya mbere cyaramubonye kimuvuga ko kitamwica n'ubundi agiye kwipfira. Umugore wajya kuzana ikindi gitero nicyo cyamujyanye kuri Nyabarongo, barongera baramuroha nawe derukana ubwo.
The first group this woman found and brought to kill my sister, when they arrived, they decided they were not going to kill her. The woman had to go find another group of killers. And this time they accepted the deal and took my sister to the river and killed her and threw her again in the river. That was the last time I saw her.
Ubwo nakomeje inzira yanjye yo kuba mu bisheke, wa mukecuru akageza kundeba, ariko iwe bari baramenye ko yahishemo inyenzi, yahishe inzoka, ntabwo yongeye kunsubiza mu rugo iwe kuko bahoraga baza kumusaka.
So my journey continued in the sugarcane plantation, and the woman who had protected us before continued to come and see me. She was not able to take me back home because the killers knew she was trying to protect the snake, the cockroach, and all the names they were giving us.
Kugira ngo bashe kuza kundeba, yafataga imigozi y'ibijumba akayikorera, akanyura kuri za bariyeri ababeshya ko agiye guhinga.
In order to be able to see me, she had to pretend she's going to plant sweet potatoes. So she would take a bunch of the sweet potatoes, how do you call them? The things you plant for sweet potatoes, she would carry a lot because they have leaves and they make a big bunch that you can carry around and no one will think you have another purpose other than planting them. So that's how she made her way every time she came to see me.
Yabonye uko meze, abona ko ntakomeza kuba muri ibyo bisheke, harimo amazi, harimo n'imirambo, arampeka ansubiza mu rugo.
But at some point she realized I could not continue to survive there because not only was it really, really wet as it's in the lowland, but also there were many dead bodies. So at some point she decided to take me back home.
Yaragiye ampisha mu bibindi, mu cyaro habaga ibibindi n'inkono arabyegeranya bimpishamo.
She had a huge calabash made of clay that used to contain water or drinks, and she put me in one of those.
Haciye iminsi 3 sinzi uburyo bamenyaga ko hari umuntu, bamenya ko mpari. Bw'icyo gihe igitero cyaje gitunguranye, yabonye bamugwaho baje kumusaka.
But I don't know how people learned whenever she tried to hide us. But one day, probably 3 days late after I was there, a surprise attack came again hunting me.
Baraje barasaka, baramvanamo, banjyana mu muhanda rwagati, cyari igitero kinini, bandyamisha mu muhanda.
So these attackers entered the house and searched everywhere. They found me. They took me out of the calabash and made me lay down in the middle of the road. It was a really huge group.
Ngo batangiye gusigana uburyo bari bunyice. Bamwe bavuga ko bari ntabe numva ngo bakanyica nk'umwana wa Esperance.
So they argued about what death I was going to receive. Some were saying they should bury me alive like Esperance's child.
Uwo mwana wa Esperance bamutabye yumva, barangije bakajya bafata inkota bakajomba muri bya bitaka amaraso akazamuka.
Esperance is another neighbor whose child was buried alive, and they would take a spear and hit her like through the sand, and the blood from her would rise again through the sand.
Ubwo batangiye kunsiganira, havamo umugabo umwe yahoze ari mu ngabo za Habyarimana yari yaratashye, arababwira ngo uyu mwana ntabwo ari umututsi, ababeshya ko ndi umwana wa murumuna w'uwo mukecuru wabaga i Kigali.
Eventually, someone retired from the former government's army came across, and when he saw me, he told the killers that I'm not a Tutsi, but rather a niece of the woman who was hiding me.
Ubwo bakomeje basigana, hagenda umwe ye kumva numva bavugije induru hirya, bari bafashe undi mututsi, ubwo bari babakurikira, ngiye bansiga ndyamye mu muhanda. Ariko intera hamwe yari igiye kuntera icumu ko nari ndyamye nubitse inda, iriteye rifata uruhande rw'akaboko ntiryamfata. Ubwo bose bahita biruka bazi ko uwo nguwo agiye kunyica.
So after arguing about who will kill her and how they will kill her, and hearing what the former soldier had said about her, one last guy tried to, and I'm sorry, I'll go back to the direct translation. So he wanted to kill me with a spear, and then it missed my chest and took my arm, and then everyone else ran away thinking he's already killed me. So as they were moving away from me, I heard them scream very high, and they were screaming because they had seen another Tutsi to kill.
Ubwo navuye aho ngaho ndiruka ndagenda, wa mukecuru aza kunsanga mu rutoki.
So I ran to the nearest banana plantation where the woman who was hiding me before eventually found me.
Icyo yakoze arongera aramfata arampeka, ansubiza nanone muri bya bisheke.
Again, she took me, put me on her back, and carried me back to the sugarcane plantation.
Ubwo abatutsi b'iwacu bari baramaze gushira, intera hamwe zatangiye kubura abo zica, zikajya zijyana imbwa mu ishyamba no mu bitare mu masenga guhigamo abatutsi baba barasigaye.
At that point, there were almost no Tutsi to be killed. There were no Tutsi remaining in the area, and the killers were now using dogs to hunt any remaining Tutsis, like under rocks and other places where they could hide.
Kunjyana rero aho mu bisheke yarasigaye anjyana aho yansize, ngewe nkahita mpimuka kugira ngo hataza kuba hari uwamukurikiye akambona.
And every time she would bring me to the sugarcane plantation, I would, as soon as she left, I would move to a different location so that no one finds me. So I was suspecting that maybe someone has followed her and will know where I am.
nari maze bo nk'iminsi 3 mbona numva igitero kiri kuvuza induru hejuru ku musozi ngo Setiba yaje ngo nabarabamara. Yari intera hamwe yitwaga Setiba, yakoraga ku nkengero za Nyabarongo hose agenda bica Abatutsi n'abagiye bava muri Nyabarongo bihishe mu bisheke.
In another couple of days, I heard Interahamwe or the killers screaming that Setiba has come, and this was one of the famous killers who was hunting anyone hiding along the riverside and making sure everyone there is eliminated.
Yohereje imbwa mu bisheke.
He sent dogs to the sugarcanes plantation.
Kubw'amahirwe ahantu narindi hari imirambo, nari nagiye imbere y'iyo mirambo kugira ngo ngereho byasabaga nka metero 3.
Luckily, where I was hiding this time, I was hiding behind many bodies, dead bodies, and there were like 3 meters to reach me through those bodies.
Zaraje zirahunahuna zumva n'imirambo zirangije zisubira inyuma. Nabona ko nta bantu bakiri mu bisheke, afata Interahamwe ze n'imbwa ze basubira kuri Nyabarongo aho twita kuri Ruriba.
He had the dogs sniff through the bodies, and after they realized all those were dead, they went back. So he took back his dogs and his killers and went to the bricks factory that is known as Ruriba, for those who know Kigali. That's where he went with his dogs and killers.
Uwo munsi numvaga ko ari wo munsi wa nyuma kuri nge. Imana yarahabaye, izo mbwa zigenda zitambonye, mbasha kongera kuvamo.
The day I thought was this time my last day, thank God it wasn't. I was able to leave that place.
Iminsi yari maze kuba myinshi wa mubyeyi ataza kundeba, ariko ubwa nari maze kumenya inzira yanyuragamo, narayizamutse nkagenda iminsi 2.
After a long time there, without the woman coming to see me, I knew my way back, so I took like 2 days to go up the hill and go to her home again.
Naragiye nsanga nta bantu bahari, ubwo bari barahunze.
I found no one there because everyone had fled.
Ubwo naragiye ninjira mu nzu, nararyamamo ko n'ubundi nari umupfu. Nagiye kubona mbona baragarutse, asanga ndacyaryamye muri ya nzu.
So I went into the house and just laid down there. I was dead anyway. Eventually, a few days later, they came back and found me in the house.
Ahansanze bahise bambwira ngo inkotanyi zaraje.
They are the ones who informed me that the RPF in Hotanyi have arrived. And I mean by that the army that saved the country against the genocide killers.
Yaramfashe arankarabya anyitaho bishoboka, abatangira kumpa imiti kuko yabonaga n'ubundi ndembye. Haciye iminsi mike ndakomeza kuremba.
So she tried to take care of me by all means. She gave me, like, she would bathe me and give me some medicine, but eventually my situation continued to deteriorate.
Hari amavuriro amwe yabaga ari gukora ariko nta n'imiti bari bafite. Yanjyanye ahitwa Ikabuga, n'ubu hari centre de santé.
She took me to one of the health clinics there, Kabuga Health Clinic, although most of those few clinics that were operating didn't even have enough medicine.
Hari umufurere witwaga Ramon.
There was a religious brother named Lamon.
Yaranyakiriye, hari n'abakobwa b'Abataliyani nibo banyakiriye, baramvura, bamaga imiti n'utunini twitaga multivitamine na fanta ya orange.
So I was received by that brother, religious brother, and Italian nuns, and they took care of me. All they used to give us was multivitamins and soft drinks.
nahamaze iminsi banyitaho bishoboka. Uko naryamaga niyorosaga ikiringiti nagikuraho inzara z'ibirenge zikavaho.
They did their best to take care of us. Where I was laying, when I put a cover on my body laying in bed, anytime I tried to remove it, it would go with my nails.
Kugeza ubu nta rwara navukanye ngira ni izameze nyuma ya Jenoside.
Today I lost all my nails from birth and just new ones that grew after the genocide.
Ubwo baramvuye ndakira nongera kuba umuntu bansubiza no mu ishuri.
Eventually I healed, I became a living human being again and even went back to school.
Amakaye nanditsemo bwa mbere nayakuye kwa Padiri Ramon. Frere Ramon, sorry.
The first notebooks I used at school were given by the religious brother Lamon.
Go wa mukecuru ne wari ukomeje kundwaza yaranjyanye iwe nkajya niga ntahiwe ni naho nakomeje kuba.
So I stayed with the woman who had been protecting me for a long time, and she hosted me even when I was going to school.
Byageze aho naratangiye kwiga kumva ngo musaza wanjye ariwe yari yaragiye mu nkotanyi azaje gushaka ko hari umuntu w'iwabo wabarasigaye asanga ni ngewe wasigaye ngenyine.
Later, as I was in school, I learned that my brother had joined the Rwandese Patriotic Front and had come back looking for anyone who would have survived from the family.
Byari ibyishimo ariko birimo n'amarira no kwisanga aje asanga umuryango wararangiye noneho ahasanze umwana w'imfubyi mutoya atazabasha kurera kandi nabundi ari mu mirimo ya leta.
It was a mixed feeling of finding all the family exterminated on one hand, but being able to find the young sister, but on the other hand also a young sister that is so young or too young to take care of herself in the eyes of a brother who is in the army, also young and probably unable to take care of his sister.
Ubuzima bwarakomeje no mukecuru arandera bigeraho tubona famiye idufata mbona famiye imfata banjyana I Kigali niho nakomereje amashuri.
The woman continued to take care of me until I found another family in Kigali and proceeded with my school from there.
Ubuzima bugoye bwa Jenoside nabusoreje aho nkakomeza uko ubuzima nyuma ya Jenoside.
I'll stop there my journey during the genocide and we'll jump to the after genocide now.
Nyuma ya Jenoside nakomeje amashuri ndangiza primary nkomeza na secondaire. Igihugu cyacu cyatwishyuriye amashuri cyafashe za mfubyi zose zari zihari zibasha kwiga batwishyurira amashuri nanjye ndimo ndiga primaire ndayirangiza njya muri secondaire nanatsinda neza.
Our new government took care of our education. They paid for our school fees in primary and secondary school, and I graduated and I passed my exams well.
Nibwo naje kubona na bourse nkomeza muri kaminuza.
And I got a scholarship from the government and went to university.
Nayo ndayiga nyitsinda neza.
Which also went well. I graduated from university.
Mbona n'akazi ni umukozi wa leta.
And I successfully finished my university and went to work. I'm now a Rwandan government. I'm now employed by the Rwandan government.
Nyuma y'iyo nzira yose y'umusaraba naje kubona ako kazi nkorera leta nitanga uburyo bushoboka bwose nk'uko inkotanyi nazo zatwitangiye zikaza kurokora abari basigaye bakabasha no kudufasha tugakomeza n'ayo mashuri.
As a government worker, I continue to be a good public servant. I dedicate my life and my work to the hardest possible, just as the RPF did when they were trying to save us.
Nkomeza rero nshimira inkotanyi buriya nizo zatwongeye kuduha ubuzima, twongera kubaho, twongera gushibuka. Naje gushaka mfite abana babiri, umukobwa n'umuhungu, ni abana beza.
I want to thank the Inkotanyi, the RPF. Sincere gratitude for giving us life. They are the ones who gave us life back and allowed us to move on. I moved on. I'm married and I have 2 children, 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl.
Bishimisha cyane umubyeyi kubona ubyara umwana agasa na wa mubyeyi cyangwa wa muvandimwe wawe utagihari.
There is no such a thing that make a parent happy as seeing their child resemble the people they lost.
Nongera gushimira rero namwita umubyeyi Muhammad ubushake bagize kugira ngo abavandimwe ababyeyi n'inshuti babashe kubakura muri Victoria babashyingure hano.
I want to thank Mr. Mahmoud Toban for the dedication, for the hard work they did in finding a safe place for the bodies of our beloved ones, our parents, our siblings, our friends, to be able to rest in peace.
Byarashobokaga ko tutamenya aho bari.
We probably would never know where they were, where their bodies had landed.
Ariko kumva ko hari ahantu natwe tujya kwibukira biradushimisha, nubwo tuza tukarira tuba twibutse bya bihe byiza twagiranye.
We are very grateful for giving us this place where we can come and commemorate our beloved ones. Although it is a sad moment, it's also a moment of joy because we get to remember the great moments we had with our families before they got killed.
Nyuma yo gushimira rero abacikacumu rya Jenoside, hari byinshi twagiye duhura nabyo, hari ingengabitekerezo, hari n'ubuzima butari bworoshye, ariko cyane cyane ingengabitekerezo ya Jenoside ikomeza tubona ko igenda itutumba, nabyo bidutera ikibazo.
So now I want to speak on behalf of genocide survivors. We went through a lot. The consequences of the genocide, a very tough life, but more importantly, coming across the genocide ideology that continues to exist.
Hari abarescape usanga mu gihugu bishwe, ugasanga hirya no hino hari impfu zagiye zibaho zitandukanye, ukibaza iyo mpamvu. Kandi natwe duhora twigisha ubumwe n'ubwiyunge, kwigisha never again, kwigisha stop genocide, ariko hakabaho izo mfu za hato na hato.
It's very deplorable to see that Tutsis continue to be killed. You hear a death here, a death there, despite our efforts to educate people on reconciliation, on never again stop the genocide. All those messages we try to give everywhere seem not to be heard everywhere.
Hari icyifuzo icyo nisabira abantu muri hano mwese, mubasha kugera ku bantu benshi, buri muntu wicaye aha hari icyiciro runaka ageraho, kandi birashoboka ko ijwi ryanyu hari aho ryakumvikana.
I want to ask you one thing. Everyone who is here has many contacts. You are able to reach many people. I know your voice will be heard by many. So I have something to ask everyone here.
buri wese agiye avuga ngo stop genocide. Ni ijambo rito ariko risobanuye byinshi. Iryo jambo cyangwa se never again genocide hari aho ryagera, na babandi bakomeza bifuza ko jenoside yagaruka, hari aho ubwabo nabo bagera bakumva ko turi abantu, abatutsi bari abantu, ubu nta mututsi nta muhutu ukiri mu Rwanda, ariko hanze y'igihugu mu baturanyi hari abakitwa uko ubwoko buhari, ko hari abatutsi bahari. Icyo gihe rero twifuza ko cyangwa se twasaba ko buri wese yabigira ibye kwamagana jenoside ntizongere kubaho.
If every one of you could say stop genocide, genocide never again, and carry it as a meaningful message everywhere you go. In Rwanda, we have banned ethnicity and we are Rwandans. We don't see ourselves among Hutus and Tutsis. But in other countries, especially our neighboring countries, there are people, again, identified as Tutsis and targeted for killing for that. So if you carry that message, hopefully we can make sure we keep everyone safe.
Mu gihe rero bari baduhaye, nasoza babwira nti mukomere, muhumure, stop genocide and never again genocide. Murakoze.
To end my testimony, I want to give you a message of hope, a message of strength, as we all carry that message of never again to genocide.